Did you know that something in your own shower, something you do every single day, may be quietly damaging your heart, weakening it in ways you never imagined? Most older adults never suspect that the routine they trust for comfort could actually be placing enormous strain on a heart that has been working faithfully for more than 6 decades. I'm Dr. Thomas, a cardiac surgeon with over 25 years of experience treating seniors across the United States. And I have watched far too many patients walk into my operating room with heart problems that did not come from disease alone. They came from daily habits hidden in plain sight. These aren't dramatic events or rare medical conditions. They are simple, familiar behaviors. The temperature of your water, the moment you choose to bathe, even the way you stand under the shower head. Yet, each of these habits can silently overload your cardiovascular system, disrupt your blood pressure, and push your heart toward exhaustion. Today, I'll reveal the 5 shower habits that may be destroying your heart without you realizing it, and what you can do right now to protect yourself. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Hot showers that are too hot. The silent habit that overloads and slowly destroys the aging heart. Most older adults never suspect that something as ordinary as comforting as stepping into a steaming hot shower could be placing enormous strain on their aging heart. Yet inside hospitals across America, physicians witness a pattern that repeats itself quietly week after week. Seniors arriving dizzy, breathless, weak in the legs, or on the verge of fainting. Not because of a heart attack, not because of blocked arteries, but because the extreme heat of their daily shower triggered a dangerous cardiovascular response. It is a soft warning the body gives before the real damage begins. As we age, our blood vessels lose elasticity. They no longer expand and contract with the quick resilience they once had in our 40s. When extremely hot water strikes your skin, your vessels suddenly widen, pulling blood away from your vital organs. For a younger heart, this rapid shift is merely uncomfortable, but for a heart that has beat faithfully for 6 or 7 decades, it becomes a dangerous test, one that the heart must fight hard to pass. Blood pressure drops sharply. The heart begins to race to compensate. Oxygen delivery falters for a brief but critical moment, and many seniors experience this as a wave of exhaustion, chest tightness, or the unsettling feeling that their heart skipped a beat. But beneath those subtle sensations lies something far more serious. Repeated episodes of low blood pressure and rapid heartbeat can weaken the heart muscle over time. They can strain the electrical system that keeps your rhythm steady. They can silently damage blood vessels already stiffened by age, pushing them toward instability. Seniors who already live with hypertension, arrhythmias, congestive heart failure, or coronary disease are especially vulnerable. For them, excessively hot showers are not simply relaxing. They are a direct threat, one that may be eroding heart strength day after day. This danger grows even greater in a closed bathroom filled with steam. Heat builds. Oxygen levels drop slightly. Your heart works harder in an environment that feels soothing to the body but suffocating to the cardiovascular system. And because this harm doesn't appear in a dramatic moment, because it feels warm, comforting, familiar, many older adults never realize that this simple habit may be contributing to worsening fatigue, heavier legs, irregular heartbeat, or episodes of near fainting. Every cardiologist who works with seniors has seen these signs. They are real, they matter, and they often arrive before something more catastrophic occurs. A heart weakened by years of thermal stress becomes more vulnerable to arrhythmias, ischemia, and sudden drops in blood pressure. The very patterns that place older adults at risk for falls, hospitalizations, and long-term cardiac decline. What feels like comfort may quietly be damaging your heart in ways you cannot sense until it is too late. And yet, this is only the beginning. Because if extreme heat can push an aging heart into dangerous territory, what happens when your daily routine introduces a shock even more abrupt? A jolt that forces your heart and blood vessels into a battle they never should face? The answer lies in the next habit, and it is even more alarming. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cold shower shock, the sudden temperature drop that can push an aging heart to the breaking point. For many older adults, the idea of splashing cold water onto the skin or turning the shower knob to a cooler setting seems harmless, even invigorating. Some have heard younger generations praise cold showers for boosting circulation or increasing energy. But the truth for a senior heart, a heart that has spent 60 or 70 years working tirelessly, is very different. For the aging cardiovascular system, sudden cold exposure is not refreshing. It is a violent jolt, a shock wave that forces the heart and blood vessels into an emergency mode they were never meant ever to face day after day. When cold water hits the skin, the first reaction is an intense tightening of blood vessels. This response is automatic and immediate, designed to protect core organs from heat loss. But for someone over 60 whose arteries have stiffened with time and whose natural ability to regulate blood pressure has weakened, this sudden constriction is far more than a simple reflex. It can send blood pressure skyrocketing within seconds. The heart, sensing the sudden resistance, begins pounding harder, faster, pushing against narrowed vessels like a pump fighting a clogged pipe. And in those moments that feel as brief as a shiver, real damage can occur deep inside the cardiovascular system. Many seniors report feeling their chest tighten when the cold water hits or sensing their pulse flutter unpredictably. Others describe a sharp breath they cannot fully control, as if the cold water steals the rhythm of their lungs. These are not trivial sensations. They are early warning signs that the stress placed on the heart is too great. In a heart whose electrical pathways have become fragile with age, this sudden spike in demand can trigger dangerous arrhythmias. In someone living with coronary artery disease, the abrupt rise in pressure can restrict blood flow to the heart muscle, quietly damaging your heart without a single outward symptom. For those with heart failure, cold-induced blood vessel constriction can increase fluid buildup and worsen shortness of breath. And perhaps the most frightening truth of all is that older adults often underestimate the seriousness of these reactions. A moment of dizziness, a flash of discomfort across the chest, a heartbeat that feels a little too quick or too irregular. These subtle signs are frequently brushed aside, and yet they may be the heart's way of signaling that it is approaching its limit, warning that this daily cold water shock is slowly destroying your heart from the inside out. In emergency rooms across the United States, it is not uncommon to see seniors who collapsed in the shower, victims of a sudden cardiovascular overload triggered by cold exposure. Some arrive confused, some short of breath, and some unable to recall the frightening seconds when their heart lost control. Many never suspected that their harmless routine could end in such danger, but the real alarm comes next. Because while sudden cold can push your heart toward crisis, there is another shower habit, one practiced quietly by millions of older Americans that drains the heart slowly, silently, and relentlessly. And once it begins, most people don't notice the damage until it's far too late. 3. Standing too long in the shower, the hidden strain that slowly exhausts and weakens the aging heart. Most older adults think of a long, warm shower as a small luxury, a daily refuge, a place where the body loosens and the mind quiets. But what so few realize is that standing too long under running water, especially in a humid enclosed space, can place an enormous burden on a heart that has already endured decades of work. What feels peaceful on the surface can become a silent trial for the cardiovascular system, gradually draining the strength of the aging heart in ways that go unnoticed until symptoms become impossible to ignore. When a senior stands in one position for too long, blood slowly pools in the legs. especially if the veins have weakened with age. This pooling reduces the amount of blood returning to the heart, forcing it to beat faster to maintain circulation. At the same time, the warm, moist air of a shower causes blood vessels to widen, dropping blood pressure further. The heart, deprived of the steady flow it needs, must pump harder and harder, often struggling to deliver enough oxygen to the body. Many older adults interpret this rising strain as simple tiredness, not realizing that the heart is fighting to keep them upright. Add to this the gradual dehydration that occurs in a steamy bathroom, moisture leaving the skin, fluid loss the body cannot replace quickly, and the heart becomes even more vulnerable. With less circulating volume, the heart must contract with greater force. For individuals with heart failure, atrial fibrillation, valve disease, or coronary artery narrowing, this combination of low blood pressure and high workload can be particularly dangerous. The result may be chest discomfort, skipped beats, sudden dizziness, or the terrifying sensation that the world is tilting as the heart struggles to recover. These are not small signals. They are warnings that the daily routine may be slowly damaging your heart, weakening the very muscle that has carried you through a lifetime. Across hospitals in America, physicians frequently treat seniors who collapsed in the shower, not from slipping, but from a heart overwhelmed by prolonged standing in heat. Some faint because their blood pressure falls so low the brain is briefly deprived of oxygen. Others experience arrhythmias triggered by the strain of poor blood return. In the worst cases, the heart's electrical system misfires so severely that it becomes a medical emergency. And yet, the danger is subtle, hidden behind comfort and routine. Few seniors ever suspect that a simple shower taken the same way for years could be slowly destroying their heart's resilience. But this is how many cardiovascular problems build quietly, gradually beneath the surface of ordinary life. But what if the real threat is not just how long you stand, but when you choose to shower? Because the next habit is tied to timing. A moment in the day when your heart is at its most vulnerable and when a simple shower can turn unexpectedly dangerous. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Showering at the wrong time. The daily moment when your heart is least prepared to handle stress. There are moments in the day when the aging heart is strong, steady, and ready for activity. And there are moments when it is vulnerable, unprotected, and slow to respond. What many older adults never realize is that stepping into the shower during these vulnerable windows can place enormous strain on the cardiovascular system. A shower taken at the wrong time can push the heart into sudden instability, disrupt blood pressure control, and quietly damage your heart long before anyone recognizes the connection. The first dangerous moment is right after waking up. During sleep, heart rate and blood pressure remain low. When you stand from bed, the body must rapidly shift blood upward so your brain stays nourished, a reflex that weakens with age. But instead of giving your circulation time to stabilize, many seniors walk straight into the bathroom, turn on the water, and expose themselves to heat or cold before the heart is ready. In those minutes, blood pressure may drop sharply, leaving the heart scrambling to compensate. Older adults often describe this as a wave of light-headedness, the room tilting, or a sudden weakness in the knees. What feels like simple morning fatigue may actually be the heart struggling to maintain control, a sign that this habit is slowly destroying your heart's ability to regulate itself. The second dangerous timing is immediately after eating. Once food enters the stomach, the body diverts a large amount of blood toward digestion. This natural shift already forces the heart to work harder. But when a senior steps into a warm shower right after a meal, blood vessels widen even more, pulling circulation away from the brain and heart. Many older adults unknowingly create a perfect storm: low blood pressure from digestion, vessel dilation from heat, and prolonged standing. The result can be dizziness, shortness of breath, or the unsettling sensation that the heart is beating out of rhythm. These are not harmless moments. They are the early signs of a heart overwhelmed, a heart that may be inching closer to collapse. And now that you know the truth behind these hidden risks, the real question becomes, what change will you make today? The change that might protect your heart for the rest of your life. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.